that hits all of these things that you're ready to write check and
Go back
make an
to your
offer.
last 5 deals and figure out, okay, what did these people tell me from the original conversation, and what did they end up buying? And did it correlate at a buyer conversation of what they actually bought? So that will test you on saying, okay, am I doing my buyer consultation correctly? Because if I am, then they buy the exact house they talked about. Or did they buy something complete opposite of what I just talked about? And do I need to retweak my buyer consultation to really find out, or am I just going through the motions? See what I'm saying? So your last 5, you actually go back, look at your last 5 deals and like, okay, I talked to them, this is what they wanted, did they buy right here? How did the process go? What went wrong, what went right, what can I change? And then, what am I doing differently now to get new buyers and get them in houses? I've told you that before in our accountability. That summertime, what did you do correctly in the summertime that you were killing it? Now, questions you were asking, questions you weren't asking, you aren't asking, that what's changed? Too much into the motion of, I'm running around doing. I hear something I think I'm hearing, but it's not really correct. But I'm hearing that, and I'm just going with it, and then find out, holy crap, and then you really don't want that, or I'm actually going deep down. Okay, this is what you want, let's go get it. You ready to do it right now? What's your time frame? Why do you want to do it? Let's go. And move on.
I think too, like narrowing the list of properties that you send them, like don't just put them on generic MLS search and send them 100 properties.
Right.
Like freaking tailor that down to, okay, do you have an idea of square footage, like size that you want? Okay, like tailor that down so they only have like 20. And like in my conversation to them directly is, okay, on average I show my clients, I'm sure they'll say the same thing, between 6 and 8 properties before I find the one. So if I show you more than that, then I miss something. No, I totally get it.
No,
but if
or
you're showing them
I
more
would
than
say
that,
I would say it even less.
Right.
if you're showing them more than that, then you really aren't asking them the right questions.
Right.
Because it doesn't take that many.
Or
like if you have the
right.
right ones,
And if I would
based on
have
what
asked the
they're
right
telling
questions,
you.
I wouldn't have to show them that
Correct.
because they're either motivated or not motivated.
Exactly, and they'll tell you.
Right. And I think Kayla too said something the other day. One of her clients said, well, I only seen 3 homes, right? I think that was his question. So how do you handle, let's talk about that. So if it were you, how would you handle that objection? So she had an objection of, well, I want to see more homes. So she's ready to write the offer, right? Like she's like, okay, come on, this is the right one for you, let's go. And they're like, well, I only seen 3 homes. So just let's give me an answer on how you would have handled that. Scott, go.
I see 3 homes, and I always ask a question: if this house wasn't here tomorrow, how would they make you feel?
Okay.
If they say, oh, it doesn't really matter if this house is here or not, then that's not the house you want. I'm not forcing you buying, because if you don't love the house you already buying, that means you're not going to love it during inspections when you get your report back and the house is falling down. You're going to be ready to cancel. So I'll be happy to show you more houses, because that's not the one you want.
Okay.
How did you respond to that, Kayla?
I did ask him if he wasn't here how he would feel the next day, and he said that he understands and appreciates my concern, but he feels like he needs to see more before. So I told him that I would show him 3 to 4 more homes, and if he didn't like any of them as much as he liked that one, would he be ready to write? And he said yes. So we saw 3 more homes, and he wrote a different one.
Right. Yeah. So
I think that, and I also think if they're hiring you because they trust you as their agent, so you have to kind of like go back to that. Like you hire me because I do a lot of it, like whatever, however you want to say that, but my job is to know what's on the market, and I am in hundreds of homes every single week. I have handpicked these homes for you based on what you told me you're looking for. So I know that these are the only options that are gonna hit the nail on the head exactly what you wanted, where you want to be, time frame, all that stuff.
We did,
Kind
I
of
did
lean on
kind of have
that.
that conversation too, because 2 of the homes that he sent me, I didn't send him because in our initial buyer consult, he said he didn't
Yeah.
want to be in a flood zone.
And I'll tell them
And
that.
they were.
So there are other ones, but I
And
specifically excluded them based on what you
Yeah,
told me.
and that's what we talked about, and he said, that they reevaluated their wants and they would be okay with that.
yeah, and
so.
things do change.
And that's
too.
that's a perfect time, because like I said,
Yeah.
if they end up buying another house, so that was a good move.
Right.
Because you never want to. First of all, you never force anybody to buy a house, because you
Right.
never make anybody sign on a dotted line. But at the same time, like I said, if you force somebody or talk them into it just to get a yes real fast, and then they're gonna say no on inspection response, and you do more work. So it's just asking more questions. So if they say, but at the same time, they would have said, hey, I feel bad, like, I would feel really bad if I wake up tomorrow and the house is gone.
Mhm.
Like, well, you know what that means, right? That means this is your house, so let's go do the right thing and put a contract in.
So if that situation didn't happen and that objection came up and it was a different, response, okay, so how else would you handle that objection, Travis? How would you handle it?
I was thinking on the line of what Ashley was saying, I mean, what were the houses that they've seen missing? You go back to your consult with them, talk to them about all the things that it had that they were asking for, what was it missing that caused them to think this wasn't the right house for them? So, getting further into what they're thinking about those specific houses, so if you do have to go on more showings, you're figuring out exactly what they want.
Yeah, because it always goes back to, I think, us as agents to say, I should have asked more questions on the buyer consult because I did not discover something.
Yes.
There's something that I'm missing. As an agent, you have to take responsibility of, if I have to go out and show more homes, it's because I missed something the first time around. I did not ask enough questions. I did not peel those layers. And if you don't think of it that way, you're never going to learn from these experiences, right? Because we're all coachable. So we always take every experience and say, okay, all right, man, I gotta go show another. In a way, I mean, I failed my client because now I'm going to show more homes because I must have missed something or did not clearly understand their needs and wants at the time.
Or, like you were saying, their needs have changed,
Have
their wants
changed.
have changed after they've seen what they asked for.
That happens clearly, because then, you know, especially those people that have the champagne dreams and lemonade kind of money. So you really, it's reality check.
Right,
Sometimes
they
they need
don't
to
know
get in
until they
there
get
and
it.
be like,
And let me be
Right,
honest
this
with
is
you,
what I can afford.
these conversations
the
now,
tough love kind of
our
things, right?
conversations here really more be with tough love conversations now, not more of what you want, because they already have in their mind what they want based off the internet
It's what you need.
search.
This
They already
is
know the
our
house
Ford.
they want, they know the house they want, they like, they know the area, they know everything, so you really finding out how fast they need to be in there and why they need to be in there. That's
Yeah.
really what the
But I think,
consultation needs to be about the
and
most.
I think setting up their expectation at that consultation, like, because you're hearing what they're saying about what they want, and you hopefully know actually what's on the market in their price point.
Right.
You're like, yeah, well, we're not gonna get that. We're not gonna find that in your price point.
Right.
But not laugh at them. I mean, just
Right.
Like,
No,
That's
unfortunately,
all
it
about
is.
that.
Like,
There's
that
certain
was
price
it.
points.
Listen,
If
I'm
you give me
gonna-
certain price points, I'm like, look, you'll probably have 4 or 5 houses that,
top.
you have to be
That's
in this
it.
area, and now we
Right.
can
like
go
that's,
further.
you're literally going to have 4 or 5 houses, so when they do pop up, when we go see it,
We
that
need to
is your
move.
best options.
Yeah.
Right, they need to know that ahead of time. Say, listen, we are on a strict budget here. We have, the availability is slim pickings, you know? I think the other thing I told Kayla to tell them was, you gotta know your client, right? Like, so you gotta know how far you can take it with them, know them personally, to be able to relate to them and have conversations with them at their level. So it's, you realize that they only buy a house maybe once in their lifetime, but twice or 3 times if you're lucky, right? So, or unlucky. But what I'm saying from that is that this may seem very easy for you.
But for them.
What's your problem? I mean, come on, you got it, right? So remember who you're speaking with and relate to them in that way. I told her to tell her, well, if you were dating and you had 3 hot women that you just went on 3 dates with, and they're all fantastic, would you just say to all 3 of them, oh, no, I'm not going to choose any of you, I want to keep looking? If you had the best top 3 women you could choose from? I mean, come on, right? If they all 10s, why are we looking any further? Just close your eyes and choose at that point, right? Can't go wrong. So know who you're talking to, right? Like, come on, relate to them.
That, I'm gonna keep saying, it goes back to your console. You know what kind of conversations to have with people based off your console.
Right.
If I'm at a console and I got a stiff person, it's like, okay, I gotta be timid around my, but if they're opening up to me, I'm like, okay, they're allowing me to be me,
Yeah.
and we can have a little more relaxed conversation.
Right, exactly. Like your single dude that lives with his mother, right? There's nothing wrong with that. However, he's looking to move out of his house and put his, roots in the ground somewhere besides his mother's home. And so you just have to get reality, put it on
Do you
Oh,
wanna stay
really?
at your mother's house for the
There.
rest of your life?
Right, it's just more like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how honest can I be with you, right? Okay, let's talk about this. You
Let's
live
paint a
with your
picture.
mother. Let's paint a picture here. You live with your mother. You're 30-something years
What
old.
if you just wanted to
How
make it house?
much longer?
Sounds so rude.
How much longer do you intend to live with your mom? I mean, I know you love your mother. I love my mother too. How much longer do you think you can live together? And he's gonna say what? It's great, wonderful, right?
Right.
Right.
Well, you bet. Look, I wish I could live with
Do
my
you have a
mom right now, but at
girlfriend,
the same
a
time, I wanna
boyfriend?
walk
You
around
know, like
naked
what
sometimes.
does your relationship status look like?
Mhm.
Okay, do you want a woman? And he's gonna say, yeah, he wants a woman, right? You can't just keep, oh man,
You're
whatever
not
it
getting a
is,
girl 'cause you live with your mom.
choice.
A
right?
woman or a man that's dressed like a woman. They
Yeah, anything
come
you
out.
want.
Whatever
So
your
just,
thing is.
Yeah.
Whatever, it doesn't matter to
Whatever
me.
flavor popsicle you want, lick it.
God.
You're-
Yeah.
to edit that part out.
Next
So,
question.
anyway,
Next question.
Moving on.
moving on. Just let him know that he ain't gonna get a woman or a man or whatever he wants.
Or man
Live
girl.
with his mother.
Living in his mama's
Put
house.
him in your mother's house, right? You got to show a little bit of responsibility and stuff. And sometimes you got to be that, right? We are the therapist. We are the mother. We are that. And the other thing I want to talk to you also with the objection handler. I have a clear understanding of who makes the decisions,
Mhm.
and it may not be the person on the loan application.
Correct.
Okay.
That's huge.
That is huge because you can be having all your conversations with the wrong person. If they're not the decision making, there is no point of you talking, right? You always want the decision maker present.
And that's great because there's a question on the console, who else is involved in
Mhm.
a person's decision?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a girl,
And that's what
girl,
listings
young
too.
man, young
Yeah.
anybody, and they say they're by themselves, I ask a question. Is mom and dad influencing your purchase decision? Like, oh no, it's on me.
Of course.
Like, okay,
they are.
would you need mom and dad's approval to buy a home? What you mean? Okay, great. We go see a house on a Tuesday with
Yeah.
you, and you love it. Are you ready to write a contract, or do you need to wait for mom and dad to see it on Saturday?
Right.
She's like, oh, I probably wouldn't need a chance. I'm like, okay, because they need to be
Then we
involved
need
in
to
every
come
showing. Reason being, we go see a house on Tuesday, you love it, you want to write,
It's gone.
and by Saturday it's gone.
This is true.
This is true. They may not be the person on the loan.
So
They're
it's two
not-
things what
there's
happens with that.
influencers involved.
Two things happen. They're either gonna be like, oh, screw mom and dad, I'm doing
Right.
this on my own, or like, okay, let me know when mom and dad schedule this.
We want them to do the first, right?
Yeah, I don't want mom and dad involved.
Be
in it.
independent.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I do because then they come and see the house inspections
Fewer
and daddy
decision makers,
destroys
the
the
better.
house, and it's like, here we go. But you're setting it up.
Or
Well,
the
at least
dad,
have clarity.
the dad's an inspector and goes
Yeah.
through the house.
Or the dad's an inspector and knows everything. So, but that's for both sellers and buyers, right? Like you can go on a listing appointment and it may be the boyfriend's home, but there's a girlfriend involved who doesn't, she's not on the house, right?
But she is the decision
But she
maker.
is the biggest influencer of his decisions, right?
Mhm.
So she needs to be involved in some way, shape, or form,
Mhm.
right? Like she needs to be at least present. There was a situation not too long ago. I'm talking to the seller on the phone about a discussion, and I can hear the girlfriend chapping in the background. And I said, okay, it seems like there's someone else that has an opinion, which I don't mind speaking to her too. Would you like to put me on speakerphone so I can just talk about the situation with both of you at the same time, right? And what that did was give them some clarity of, hey, look, what's going on. And then the other thing is,
She's
who is
gonna,
that?
she's gonna open the door
Oh my
back up for
God.
that.
Hold up a second.
Open up!
And then the other thing is, what ended up happening from that was he said, she don't make any decisions for me, I make the decisions. So I think he had a little bit of a
Power struggle.
power struggle going on with him. So he really realized in reality there was a lot of noise going on, and he needs to have a clear. He had to make these decisions on his own. That was the best for him at that given time. So in some situations, the girlfriend will get on the phone, and you gotta have the conversation and let them know, like, this is my professional opinion. You hired me. I lead a lot of sentences with that. How honest can I be with you on a scale of 1 to 10, right? You remember when we spoke and we met, you told me to always be honest with you. Okay, let me give you my opinion about this. This is my professional opinion. My job as an agent is to educate my buyers and sellers. And at the end of the day, my job is to have the most educated buyers and sellers in today's market. And in order for you to make the best choices for you and your family. Isn't that what you want? Okay. You know, you're always laying out, this is why I'm going to tell this to you in the way I'm about to say it. So that when they're listening to you, they're listening to you from, you're not trying to be a mean person kind of thing. You're trying to give them a professional opinion that, by the way, they asked for.
And you ask permission.
And you ask for permission to give it to them. So remember, when you're about to say something, you
And I think
have
that
to ask
goes-
for permission to say it,
Mhm.
because then it gets received differently.
Right, and it adds to your credibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It
it-
helps them trust you more in
But-
your opinion.
In fact, there's a lot of.
You are not a
Tell
show-
you,
Oh,
you have
it's
an
gonna
idea
be
where
with
your
you.
relationship
Scale of
stands
1
with
to
them.
10, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you when a house is crap and we can do better. Like, this is what I'm here for. All that to.
I think it just goes back to motivation. Tying them back to their motivation is the biggest thing, because they're never going to feel pain versus pleasure in any other situation unless you're tying it to their motivation in the first place. If you tie in pain versus pleasure to the wrong thing,
Mm-hmm.
there's,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. That's like talking to the wall.
And then you
right?
have people who just are, they're gonna do what they want, when they want, how they want, doesn't matter what you say.
Okay, so since we're on the subject of objection handlers.
Yeah.
So let's take the person who is the contractor that wants to walk into the house and tear it down. And even though you can make or you can handle the objection as that this house is already priced for
Repair.
Mhm.
what it is, and of course he does know, because I've already had that talk too, how, what you're asking too, a lot of it is cosmetic, and that's not how this works. But when they come in as the know-it-all,
Mm-hmm.
how do you handle that type of person? The contractor who wants to come in and, you know, retardedly
What's his
underbid.
motivation? Always go back to that, regardless of their personality.
Right, not to live with his son.
Not what is important to you about that.
He's trying to get it at a discount, is that what you're trying to say?
He's trying to
Like,
discount each of the repairs he sees at a
Oh.
price.
I mean, I think just explaining
I think that's any buyer though.
That's not how we price.
Right, but it was
homes.
already priced for
Mhm.
the
Right.
condition.
Like, as long as it's functional, it doesn't matter.
I
Like,
told you I handled that one.
aesthetically, if you.
Look, I did. and
But
I'm
did
gonna
you-
go pull
okay,
some
so
more
here's the
concepts,
thing.
I
So
wasn't
here's
looking there,
the,
Nate,
but
a
here's the
second.
thing with that. Or did you really tell him, or did you tell him, or did you say pieces of it? So you gotta remember your deliverance too. A good trick to it is just record your conversations. They got some apps, you can record your conversations and listen to what you're saying. Or have someone present, and we'd gladly help you through, the conversation. Just like you did with with the agent, right?
Mhm.
It was straight up, no, we are not doing that. You're very clear and to the point and concise, right?
Kayla did it today, she said, Scott, can you talk to this lady?
Yeah.
And it was 2 different conversations we had.
Mhm.
They were button heads and me and her wasn't button heads.
It's all about the way you say it, right? It's very, you have to be very clear and let people know where you're coming
But
from.
this particular guy who wants a discounted
Mhm.
price on an already discounted house, that is, here's the comps, when you fix up the price, when you get the house at this price and you fix it up, this is what the house really is worth.
Back to your triangle, ready, willing, able. What would you say he's not?
I guess ready,
Willing.
willing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's ready
Not
and able.
He's ready, he's able.
He's not willing.
Right.
You have to be all three. And you just, and that conversation has to be, okay, so why are you looking, tell me what you wanna move out your son's house for, what's important to you about that? What's important to him?
Mhm.
And what did he say? Like, what was important to him about that?
To have his wife, who has been very sick, to just have their own place. They had a really big home,
Okay.
on Boat Avenue that they sold to downsize, and now they're living with their son. So they're able to find something with some acreage that maybe he can do some repairs to make it theirs.
Okay, perfect.
Have you
So,
only shown him homes
tell
that are
me
livable?
more.
Hmm?
Have you only shown him homes that are livable? Like he can still live in it?
Oh, I've only showed him 2 homes because,
There's no
But he likes
availability.
fuchsia, but he likes fuchsia.
yeah.
Okay, so he's a finance buyer, right?
Mhm.
So, what most important thing is, what's his
Just need to
monthly
dig deeper.
payment?
You didn't dig deeper into that. You gotta dig deeper into that. Okay, tell me more about that. So, tell me, okay, so you're looking into a home, when do you wanna be in that home by? For your wife?
As soon as possible.
Okay, so how soon as soon as possible? 30 days, 60 days? Do you wanna live with your son for another 6 months, a year? How long do you think you can stand yourself living there?
I didn't ask that.
Okay, and you might end up, you see, you're bringing a little bit more emotion
Mhm.
to the question, then you're digging a little deeper. Okay, he tells you 3 months, right?
Mhm.
Whatever. He might tell you, "Shoot, I'm tired. I'm ready to go now.
Mhm.
I'm done with these kids running around." You know, like
Right.
that's not, you don't know because you didn't uncover it. You
Yeah,
don't know
already
until you
got him on
uncover
15 You
it,
already got him on 15,000, it's another 10, 15.
right? Like okay. So how much longer do you want to live with your kids?
Mhm.
How much longer? Okay, and let's talk about your wife. How soon does she want to be in it?
She was in the truck going, fuchsia, fuchsia, fuchsia.
Okay, have you had
There
a
you go.
conversation
Mhm.
with both of them on the phone?
Mhm.
Who is the decision maker?
He is.
Are you sure? He sounds like he's buying this for his wife.
Well, I need to dig deeper.
What do y'all think?
Just need a couple questions.
Yeah, you don't know. You're assuming that, and that's what I'm saying. Like you don't know until you ask.
Mhm.
So who's the decision maker here? Do I need to talk to your wife?
Mhm.
Just ask him. Say, look, who at the end of the day, who's gonna make? And you can listen to the clues. There's always clues. He told you he's buying it for his wife wants it. She said, like, you gotta listen to the clues and uncover that. Listen when they speaking and write your notes of what they saying. And then don't move on to another conversation to fill airtime.
Mhm.
Go back and say, this is what they said. All right, now let me ask you more about this. Let me ask you more about this. Let me ask you more about this. You are their counselor. You're discovering things that you may not know. And what you're going to do is that, okay, so you've told me these things. Your wife wants to get into this home. You apparently want to get out the house in this amount of time because you're tired of living it. I bet you that's hard, right? Right? Like, okay, yeah, I can imagine it would be living with I couldn't imagine living in the situation you're living in. So let's talk a little bit about your timeline. I've shown you what is available in the price range that you're willing to pay. Okay? I don't anticipate this market changing. And there's gonna be 10 more homes show up and pop up on the market in the next 20 days, 30 days, 60 days. I don't anticipate it. I really don't. How much longer can you stand to put your wife in this situation? You know, like you're digging into a little bit better. You're backing into whatever he tells you,
Mhm.
and you chopping it down on those emotions. That's where you're going.
Okay.
But write it down when he's talking, and that'll help you help you discover the pieces that you're missing.
Mhm.
And some people are just not willing, and you're wasting your time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too, honestly. At the end of the day, some
They
people
think they're
just-
ready to commit.
There's always an excuse.
Right. And we have a seller right now. Every time Kim gets on the phone, she ain't doing nothing. She ain't doing nothing. I get on the phone, okay. Right? It's just sometimes it takes it's the timing. The conversation is about the timing too. I'm having it.
background.
Yeah, I'm like, who's making the decisions, right? Who's the decision maker? Who's the decision maker? All right, what do you want to do? She'll make the decision, yet I can't have that conversation and deliver all this bad information, right? Here we go. Here's the inspection response. Let me tell you everything that's wrong, and then you allow your seller to fly off the deep end, right? You just let them go. You let them do it, and they're gonna do it.
Mhm.
Every time. It's just gonna happen. You just put the phone out like this and you just wait. okay? Cause it's emotional, right? It's just, you have a buyer asking you for $20,000 in repairs, I would be a little mad too, right? It's just, let them go, let them do their thing, let them vent. And you let them go, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you this report, I want you to read over it. Let's talk again about this tomorrow, how's that sound?
We give them time to digest.
Let them digest it, right? Because sometimes it's just, you just let them do their thing. They're gonna call, 9 times out of 10, they call me by the end of that night and they let me know what they wanna do, and they willing to do. Right? It's just, you gotta let them go. You can't talk, most of y'all have children, y'all understand that you can't talk to people and if they're upset. Right? So you just gotta kinda let it happen. And then,
That's why we have 3 days.
that's why you have 3 days for inspection response.
Send it to
Yay.
'em.
Sometimes you don't talk to someone
Recoup.
anyway.
Make sure you call them soon, that way they can
Make
vent
sure
for
they're
a
not in
while.
Vegas.
That's exactly right.
You know, make sure
They know how to work.
they're not under the
things and
influence of any drugs or alcohol the moment you speak to them, and all decision making is a present. Okay? So, or in jail. It's very hard sometimes.
Or stealing cars.
What, did y'all find this a little helpful?
Yeah.
Like, just digging into the conversations? Literally, you might find it easier if you write down what they're saying.
Mhm.
I mean,
I think
You should be
It
doing that
should.
You
anyway.
should.
Go back on your
Yeah.
console.
You should
And
be
then-
doing that.
Like all of your
And
stuff.
just go back to the
Reference
original
it.
stuff. Okay, what you originally told me was this, and this. How do you still feel about that?
Mhm.
Okay, tell me more. Why don't you feel it? What's made you change your mind? Right? Like this guy changed your mind. What specifically, if he kept going, like if you would have had to show him another house, we would have to strangle him at this point. After the 2 showings, I would bring him back to the Come to Jesus meeting. That's what it is. 2 showing. I mean, you've been out with him 2 times. There's just not enough inventory to go much more than that. Like it really isn't. There's nothing out there right now. So that needs to have a come to Jesus meeting and say, okay, let's talk about this. This is what you said, and here's this. Then you said this, right? Now you said 2 different things. Now, what is important about the change? What specifically makes you change your mind? Blah blah blah. Right? Like you gotta kind of dig a little deeper. You guys only seen 2 houses, so
Mhm.
because there are only 2 houses
Yeah,
to see,
right.
right?
Well, the other one, can I tell you the other
Throw an
one?
offer at 170, see what happens.
You know, in that situation too,